This darkness got me so strung out.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Kev, and today I want to talk about something. For now, I'm going to talk about this this new development, or at least it's new to me. Now, I made a video about black women and attitudes, right? And um, now they actually have a name for it called angry black woman syndrome. They have made a name for this disease. I wouldn't call it a disease. I call it an issue, but I wouldn't call it a disease. Um, as that is common in most black women. There's a very large number of black men that tend to date outside of their race because of a relationship with a black woman in which they were treated unfairly or they were treated as criminals. They were incriminated in a way, like for instance, they come home and they're a little late and they're thought to have been with another woman. They're accused of doing something they had not been doing, or it's almost like the woman had wanted them to be doing something as a reason to have an excuse to put the black men in the category of what other black men are put in, which is a dog. You know what I'm saying? The dog house, the category that says that the black man ain't shit. And you know, I was watching this movie. It's called Diary of a Tired Black Man. I I really really want all of you to either look it up on the to either look it up on the internet or look it up, read about it, or go to your local store and buy it. I urge you, I really, really want all of you within the sound of my voice, if you have not already saw the movie, to go to the store, buy it, or look it up on the internet and watch it, or read about it, whatever you have to do to find this movie. Because it is called Diary of a Tired Black Man. And it's a documentary, and it has different skits in between the commentary, which gives examples of what a black relationship can be like if a woman goes into it with a past and has become angry because of it. Studies have shown that just like there is a large percentage of men in these type of relationships that date outside of their race, there is also a very very large percentage of black women that have this issue, and the reason is because the out of this percentage, more than half have come from families that were broken and the fathers were not present. It has shown and proven that the male with a father, an absent father in the home, or an abusive father, whether it be physically, verbally, emotionally, abusive to either the child or the child's mother, that young girl, 9 out of 10 will grow up having this resentment toward the black men because of the example that was set for her at such an early age growing up. Imagine how you would turn out if you grew up being abused sexually, emotionally, physically, verbally by your own father. So, and what kind of trauma would you think that would leave on you? What kind of mentality would you think that would grow on you as you got older and got into relationships with other black men who who already have a stereotype of and already have this kind of shadow of being a dog and being players and being womanizers. You know what I'm saying? The black man doesn't really have a family oriented image. So you wouldn't expect much from a black man given the fact that you had been raised with a black man that was, abusive in many ways. And so, like I said, these studies have proven that if a black man that is playing the father role, or if the biological father is not present in the life of the young female, they tend to grow up with this resentment toward the black man, hence the angry black woman syndrome. They showed many different situations in a relationship, like where one was where the guy and the girl, the black couple, they were laying on the bed, and he was trying to talk to her about her past and get her to open up to him because he was a good man. He worked. They have a child together. He always came home at a decent time. He never hung out and did things he had no business or whatever. He let her have her time with her females, and he had his time with his boys. But he always knew where to come home to, who to come home to. They were married. He put a ring on that finger and treated her like a princess, but she always gave him slack for no reason. It made him feel like he was the worst man on earth because she wanted to find a reason for him to be less than perfect. She couldn't believe that someone who was a black man can be good to her because her father wasn't there in her life and the black men in her life have not treated her well in the past. And so she's believing that there are no good black men out there, and this is what many black women tend to believe nowadays. And and I made a video prior to this one stating how a lot of these women are emotionally, scarred for life because of what one man has done to them in the past, and it can mess up their what's the word? Their view of other men, especially black men, in the future. A relationship that they get into later on down the road can be tarnished or can go off or start off the wrong way because they already have set in their mind what they think a man is supposed to be like. And that is so true. In this situation, when they were laying on the bed and talking, as she was, revealing her past to him and letting him know how she feels, she would say things like, "I don't mean to be mean to you and so cold to you, but I don't know any other way to be because I've never met a man that's treated me well, or had done all these things for me without some strings attached." And she goes blaming him for what another man has done to her, and you know she would start fights with him for no reason. There could be a pair of underwear on the floor. She'll curse him out, okay, because they were on the floor by the hamper instead of being inside the hamper. So she took that as a reason to fight with him and give her a reason to believe that he's less than a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Of course, if you pick a fight with me, I'm not gonna let you cuss me out and I'm trying to sleep. So, she wakes him up out his sleep, cussing him out because some damn drawers was on the floor, and then tries to somehow connect it to him cheating on her and all this other shit, trying to basically find a reason to say that he ain't shit. And this happens so often in relationships. People find reasons or try to find something wrong with someone when there really is nothing wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? They try to put things and create situations in their mind and apply it to their relationship, create intention, creating trauma, drama, trouble in their relationship, and one thing leads to another, and then they end up without anybody because of the fact that they couldn't handle the good thing that happened to them in the first place. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't handle that good man because they messed the relationship up trying to find something wrong when there was nothing there to find. Looking for something that clearly wasn't there. And like I said, this happens so often. So I just wanted to, briefly tell you guys about that because it was on my mind, and I really think it's crazy, but it's so true. They have made a name for it, and I want to hear from the black women. I want video responses. I want you to rate, comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and let me know how you feel about this because it is a serious situation. I've had women in my life who I've been in a relationship with, and these women. Well, I think I've dated two black women my whole entire life, and um, one of which was one of my most serious relationships. My longest relationship was with a black woman, and you know, I can relate somewhat to that, but because we were so young, I can't relate to that level. I've never shared children with this woman. I've never, went through the more adult type of situations with her, but I can somewhat relate to the attitude, in regards to the fighting that we had, because she didn't have her father in her life either. So, of course, she was basically doing the same thing, looking for something to be wrong with me because of the simple fact that she didn't have a male figure in her life showing her what a man is supposed to be like, and setting that good example. So it's real serious, and I definitely think that you should go out and go buy that movie if you haven't seen it already or whatever. If you don't have it, go check it out. It is a phenomenal movie. It talks about some real stuff and gives you views on how from both sides, the male and the female perspective, and it's very very true. It's very very true. So definitely hit me up with comments and video responses. Definitely, I'm gonna start featuring videos that give me intelligent responses and things that I feel from people that are proving a point And even if you disagree with what I'm saying right now, I still want to hear it because I still may feature it if you're talking about it with some type of intelligence and you know what you're talking about. So with that said, I'm gonna be out. Peace and chicken grease.
Flavor is the sweetest thing in life. I'm addicted to your chocolate high.